Bam. We're going live. What's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? This is episode 62 of the Marvin Sports and Life podcast. We're going to give Facebook and YouTube a few seconds for people to come on in and get the notification, guys. You know the routine. Coming on in, hit that like, hit that share button. You see we going live, hit that like and that share button. Hit that like and that share button. Make sure you comment. Any questions you got, guys, hey, leave it in them comments. Leave it in them comments. All right, guys, for episode 62, I got a one-on-one interview with Country Pimp. Country Pimp, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going, Mr. Mike?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. I must admit, you was referred to me by the homeboy from the bird, Byron, NRA, what's Byron right name? XMPR.
Yeah, XMPR, also known as CB.
You was referred to me by the homeboy XMPR. He's like, bro, you gotta check my dog out. And the first thing I said, bro, I'm gonna check him out. But I said, well, send me his stuff. I said, let me see his Instagram. I said, let me see, cause I want to check it out, so I can see what I got going on, man. So tell the people, we're gonna start from the beginning. First of all, of course, we from South Carolina, so we know the name Country Pimpin. So tell the people where you from.
Well, I was born and raised in Batesburg, Leesville.
Okay.
I grew up in Dixie-Anna. I graduated from Airport High. I lived in Orangeburg for a couple of years. I had went to prison some years back, and so when I came home, my mom, she was living out there, and I needed an address, so that's how I ended up in Orangeburg. But I'm from pretty much everywhere in Carolina, man.
Okay, so how long you was in the bird for?
I was there for about 9 years.
Okay, oh, you was here a good little while.
Yeah, I was there for a good little minute.
Okay. So now we're gonna start. So before we know you producer, I see you had the keys and I play keys too. I see you had the keys. So let's start from the beginning. You say you're from Batesburg, so that's the story of you was born in Batesburg, right?
Yep. That's like for those who don't know Batesburg, Leesville, that's like 30 minutes outside of Columbia. It's a small country town, man, known for football and Sheely's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got a lot more other things than Sheely's. But it's that's two of the things it's basically known for: state championships, man, and Sheely's barbecue.
It's definitely known for Sheely's barbecue.
Oh yeah, people don't, if they don't know nothing else, they know about Sheely's, man.
Yeah, they're right.
Yeah, that's where I grew up at, man. That's where majority of my family's from. That's where majority of them stayed at. But yeah, I grew up out there, and I grew up in Dixie-Anna. That's where the country pimping term come from. Because when I moved to West Columbia, I come from a small town. Everybody's like, "Boy, you country as hell, boy."
Yeah.
It just, I embraced it. I never ran from it. So.
Okay, I hear you. So when you was when you came home, and I let start from the hospital. So in the hospital, so what was the situation? Was it both parents home? Mom dukes by herself, grandma. What was the situation?
Well, actually, what happened was in 2008, I believe, I had caught some charges. I was selling crack, doing a couple other things, man. I just made some bad choices. I was an educated kid, but long story short, man, I ended up in jail for some distribution charges. So when I came home the summers later, my mom, she was married. She had remarried, and she had moved.
No. I talking about as a baby now. I'm talking about when you came home as a baby. My bad. Not come home from prison.
My bad. From a baby, man. I was born in Lexington Medical Center, man. My bad, man. I thought you were talking about a couple of years ago.
No. Okay. Yeah, I'm talking about you came home like did you grow up? Was it grow up in like a mom dad situation, or just mom had to go by
my mom and dad, man. My dad and mom was never married, so my dad per se was my stepdad.
Okay.
He pretty much raised me, man, and gave me my ideals as a man.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, we lived in Batesburg until I was probably about 14. Going on 15. Matter of fact, my ninth grade year was when we moved to West Columbia. But I was in Batesburg.
So growing up as a child, did you have any were you a pretty good kid, fights, or were you like a trouble child?
I was a nerd, dude. I ain't even gonna catch with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, the street life didn't come till later on. All my family, had hustles in it. From my mom to my grandma, they would bootleg and do other things like cook meals. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, my grandma was real church heavy. You know, I kind of picked up the streets a little bit more once I moved to West Columbia. You know what I'm saying? That's where, you know what I'm saying, I kind of started thugging. You know, I jumped in the whip with a couple of bloody guys that was, you know what I'm saying, that was showing me the way.
Yeah.
It's so, you know, that's where that came from. You know, that's where that whole persona came from. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That even looked like that.
So growing up in Batesburg, cause see here, I like to start from the beginning, then we get up to now. So growing up, because that is a football town. So did you ever play on football or not really?
Yep. Yep. I played football. I played from 93 up until 97 when I left. You know what I'm saying?
And what position you played?
I played tight end. I played defensive end. When I got to high school, I played a little receiver, but it was mainly defense. You know what I'm saying? I moved to Gilbert and ended up playing for Gilbert one year, actually, before we went to Airport. And I was a receiver there, kickoff return guy, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that definitely pretty good school. Okay, so okay, we get to high school. You know, like say you're a nerd kid. You're on the you're on a nerd. You're on the right path. You do what you need to do. You move from Batesburg, Leeville, which is the country, to West Columbia, which is a whole different atmosphere. So you see, you moved your ninth grade year, right?
Yeah. Basically, no, my 10th grade year. I did the remainder of my 9th grade year in Gilbert. So my 10th grade year is when we moved to West Columbia.
Okay, so 10th grade year. So then, was it 10th grade year? That's when you started like going outside, or you just start going outside after high school?
I mean, I was going outside during school because if anybody know Batesburg, like, you know what I'm saying, being on the football team don't mean you clean cut. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, not to tell on anybody, but you know, I play games. We were smoking blunts in the woods before we go to the game, man. You know, we were still undefeated. Like, you know, we was always out.
I wouldn't know W. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we was always outside. Like, I ain't even gonna lie, for a basketball game, niggas smoke a couple blunts, you know. Go and put up 14 and 8, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know, I've been outside. I've been, you know, I've always been like, you know what I'm saying, around like, you know, the guys per se. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really understand the streets and embrace it until I got to Columbia. You know
okay, I got you. So we do that. Then of course after school, we're not gonna go into your charges like that right now. So we're doing that. When does at any point in your life, when does music first get introduced? Was it in the house? When does the love for music get introduced to you?
My grandmother, like I said, my grandmother was like real church heavy. Like, dude, I can remember going to church every day. You know what I'm saying? And you know, as kids, you kind of find your space in that building to kind of what you like, so that it doesn't be so bad, knowing that you have to go every day.
Yeah.
And music was it. You know, a lot of my cousins was basically instrument guys. You know, I had a cousin that played the guitar. One of my cousins played the drum. It's kind of my uncle's church per se.
Okay.
You know, a lot of my family members were, you know, the instrument guys. So that I just loved it. You know, bass made me feel. You know, for me, it was the music that kind of gave me my connection to God. You know what I'm saying?
That's real. It's one of his. It's a spoken language. So did you play in the church also?
No, I actually sung on the choir up until 8th grade. You know what I'm saying? I had an okay decent voice as a kid, so I had a couple lead solo songs that I would do in church. You know,
okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. So pretty much so grandma put that love of music in you. Grandma put you playing it. So was your grandma? Cause see, my grandma in my grandma's house, how I live, I got two separate. I got a grandma and I got a granny. And in my grandma's house, you ain't hear nothing but gospel 24/7. She ain't playing nothing else but gospel. Or did your grandma like she played gospel on Sundays, but she might sneak in a little OG, a little Luther, you know? Did she mix it up?
Grandma was Pentecostal, man. So grandma wasn't playing that. You know, even when hip hop was first emerging back then, you know what I'm saying? She was so old fashioned. She called hip hop blues back then. Like, you know, blues playing in the house. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you know how blues was, blues was hip hop in the 20s. Like, you know, that was Like, yeah. But I kind of got that from like, you know, my other family members, like their daughters, like my aunties, and you know what I'm saying, my uncles and stuff like that. Because I had an uncle who had a car wash, so it wasn't nothing to hear Eddie Murphy, you know what I'm saying, some OJs or Gap Band blasting out his truck on Saturdays, or a car on Saturdays, he'd be cleaning them up.
And that stuff's still around. Okay, so grandma put the love music in you. So when did you start like dabbling into like So when you first started music, did you come in on the production side or you came in on the rapping side? When you came in at music first?
Most definitely rapping side. I can remember one of my partners, man. Shout out to Travis Harris, man. He one of my partners that I actually first started the group with. Talent shows in middle school. That's when I kind of learned I knew how to rap. We started a group called Funk Babies back in like '96, and it was me and him. We would like beatbox. It's like we stayed when I lived in Batesburg. We stayed in the projects called Ramblewood. A lot of people call it Section 8. You know what I'm saying? But we stayed in Ramblewood, so. Me and, we called him Pee Wee back then, but me and Trav, we get out of school and like be on the green machine, beatboxing, and you know what I'm saying, kind of sharpening our skills and shit like that. Yeah. So that's where that started at, like, you know what I'm saying, middle school.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, cause cause I'm realizing, cause you got me by a nice little gap. See, I ain't graduated until 2005. So man, so you listen to music, you in that golden era, you in that, man, that's like Biggie, kind of at the end, Biggie, Pop, Jay, not TRS Moment have been over, but even that Ice Cube, that's when you was, man, you caught that golden era when you stepped in.
Facts. I was, I can still remember when Pop actually died. That's a live memory. Like I can remember, actually seeing how the world reacted. Because like I said, I stayed in the project, so we heard it on the Big DM on the radio station. So like, you know what I'm saying, I could see. You know what I'm saying? How the world actually felt about him dying. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I take with me, just as a learning experience as far as music goes. But yeah, I was able to come into that era of rapping when Pac and Big was doing their thing, but also the South was just now awakening. People like 8 Ball, MJG. You know what I'm saying? UGK was on the back burner.
Two of the most underrated Southern rappers ever.
Yep. And believe it or not, if you listen to a lot of my production, especially in the upcoming records that I've been producing and working with people on, like I just been, especially the last 2 years, I've been doing a lot of sampling. I do a lot of sampling from that era, that golden era of, Southern hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that needs to be around. That you know what I'm saying? That I don't think that light needs to die. You know what I'm saying?
It shouldn't. Because I was laughing at my kids now. I said, I'm only 34, but it's so crazy that now they are sampling stuff from the 2000s. And I thought I would never see the day that my stuff that I grew up in my era getting sampled now for these young, I hate to sound old, but these young kids now.
Yeah. Trust me, I follow you, man. Yeah.
Okay, so you coming on rapping, so how did the rap? I know it's kind of hard because at that time you in Columbia. So what would you say for the rap group? What would you say was y'all highest? What I say? Y'all peak, like your highest peak, whether that been at performing the just like what was your highest peak in that time for your group?
Well, back then, when I moved to Columbia, it kind of faded away as far as what me and Trav had started. I was kind of on my own, and I was fortunate enough to run into some guys that was doing the music thing. I had 2 separate groups that I was able to be a part of. One of them we called ourselves Versatile, and the other one was basically these guys. They had already had their group called Calico, and it was called 7 Deadly Sins. And I kind of just started, as they was breaking up, I kind of just started linking up with everybody, and then we kind of just got to this thing where we had mutual friends that everybody kind of started forming different groups. So I ended up with a group called Drama City out of West Columbia. And I don't know, if anybody was in the street back then in the early 2000s and up until about 2005, Drama City, we was making a little noise. We had opened up for Lil Jon and Eastside Boys at the Township. Okay. We had done a couple of things. We had done a big car and bike show, and when Deuce Staley had got his first contract with the Eagles, he threw a big party for us at for everybody in Dixana at Carolina Eastman Park. He let us perform then. You know what I'm saying? That's about it for then. Like I said, we had did a couple of mixtapes, stuff like that in the street. Like, we was making a little noise. We was, kind of opening up for guys, car shows, bike shows. I also had a mutual friend called Linwood. He used to own Apple Bottoms off of Broad River, and he kind of opened the door for us to perform at a lot of car and bike shows he would throw. And kind of give us recognition. You know what I'm saying? But that was kind of our pinnacle back then.
Okay, so at that time, did you have a little? I know at that time, but I know everybody outside still getting how they live. but y'all starting to see like a little rap money. It might be like gas money, but so just a little rap money from the Call and Bite shows and the.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I honestly didn't start seeing revenue until this turn, like as far as me putting myself out, and it still hadn't been no major money. Back then, you know, that was I didn't understand the game. You know, I did a lot of stuff I didn't know. You know, that's why I'm still doing it because you know I feel like it's some things that I needed to do. You know, a lot of people ask me like, "You still rapping?" And it's like, you know, it ain't just per se for me to be like, okay, I want to be known as the best rapper. You know, I feel like I invested so much time back then, you know, doing it the wrong way that I owe it to myself to do it right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So was y'all actually signing anybody paperwork wise, or y'all just was like just on your own?
You know, we kind of just started on. I honestly didn't even understand anything about paperwork up until like, you know, 2007, 2008, you know, and I was pretty much locked up by then. You know, I was around so many people. I ain't even gonna lie. We had in high school, we did a talent show. And me and my dog, we ended up winning the talent show. So we got to meet Fred McKnight. He used to be on the big deal called the Quiet Storm back then. And he called himself by a manager per se. You know, he kind of was like, you know, we're gonna do this, blah, blah, blah. You know, those things never worked out. Kind of just, you know, and I started running into people like that a lot over the next couple of years of selling me dreams. Like, yeah, man, you know, you sound like so and so and this, that, and third, you know. And I waste a lot of time just kind of following their dream instead of understanding the business so that I can live mine, you know. But yeah, I for years, man, I was running in place, dude. Like I ain't even gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? Just you know, being a rapper to myself into the hood, because you could go 100 miles up the road and nobody knew who I was. You know what I'm saying?
I feel, but it's just the fact that you still was getting out there. So, because I remember when Deuce Taylor was doing that stuff for the because Deuce had it for a while. So okay, so we do that. Man, that's pretty good though. I ain't gonna lie, because some people, to be honest with you, bro, that's kind of like a big success to be open up for Lil Jon and Eastside Boys. You want to cause a fight, so because some people never get out their basement. Some people never get out the studio. Some people never get this stuff heard. Some people never get any kind of. I don't care if it's a fish dinner. Some people never get any kind of form of payment for their craft. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a pretty much success. So at what point do we go from okay, I got this group. So you say from there you end up getting in trouble. So at that point you're like, man, this music thing ain't working. I got to get it how I live. That pretty much what happened. That pretty much the story.
Yeah. When I got out of prison, I had a little music equipment, and I pretty much came home with nothing. You know, being a street nigga, a lot of times we get caught up in the wrong stuff. So I had to sell a lot of stuff, and I just
How long did you do, if you don't mind me asking?
I was given a suspended sentence of 5 and 5. So I ended up doing like 3 summers on the 5 years that I had to do. Ended up doing like 3 summers, and I came home. I think it was the end of 2010 when I came home. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So now you go ahead, you said you had some equipment and.
Yeah, I was broke, man. So, you know, I ain't gonna lie, you know, I kind of sold it to kind of get myself out of the ground because, you know, it was hard to find a job when I came home. So I had to have some revenue. I got children, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I took what little bit I had to try to make it work, and I ended up in barber school, and that's how I ended up in Orangeburg. I was cutting hair under Mr. Robinson at Professional Barbershop.
Shout out to Mr. Robinson. Shout out to Big Paul.
Mr. Rob, man. Shout out to my boy P. Rob too, man. I love that little dude, man. He's big thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Mr. Robinson gave me my sense of business.
Okay.
He gave me my understanding of researching business before you step into it. You know, I also ended up working for a guy. I don't know if you know Mr. Edwards, Step on Edwards. Shout out to Big Step and Little Step. I love you, Little Step, man. Shout out, that's my boy right there, man. But shout out, you know, Mr. Edwards and Little Step. But, you know, they also, you know, gave me an understanding of running the business and what it takes to network. And, you know what I'm saying? Put yourself in a position, you know, for a betterment of what you're trying to do. You know, I was in my early 30s when I met these guys, and I was trying to kind of trying to reform my thought process. And I had this young guy. Shout out to Mecca too. Mec Davis. He's a local battle rapper out of Columbia. He's real dope. He was in South Carolina. He was in Barbarian Rap League for years. But long story short, he used to hear about me from when I was a Big Sound, you know, making beats and shit. So he kind of kept reaching out to me like, man, you still making beats, man? Like, damn, yeah, dope shit. Like, fuck with me. So, you know, just after conversations with him and a couple other people reaching out to me like, hey, man, you still making beats type shit? I said, okay, I want to get back into it. I want to do it the right way. And that's what kind of just started my journey where I'm at.
Okay, so I got a question to see, because you're from that Golden area, Hip Hop 96. So with your production, you got a production, because that's still a big transition. Are you more of a instrument production? Are you more of a Pro Tools, Fruity Loops? You know, like just like
Believe it or
that.
not, I do both. I actually do both. My first, even when I was rapping, I always had a love for it. Like I would have I had a DR5. This is when they had drum machines. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That was one of the first things I started out with was a DR5. And even when I was in the studio laying down on other people's beats, like I was always asking questions because it intrigued me. You know what I'm saying? To how beats was put together, especially when I, you know, figured out it was a little small. And if you know a DR5 back then, it was like this big, like little teeny thing, you know.
Yep,
And
that's
people
it.
take those things, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, I always had like a kind of a love for it and just wanted to know. But it wasn't until like, you know, later on, I actually started learning about sampling and stuff like that. So that's what made me be like, okay, I could do this. I taught myself how to play piano by ear. I'm no Beethoven or Zaytoven for that matter. I'm more of I do a lot of sampling. Like I do a lot of sampling. What I do is I take a sample to create the origin of my melody, and then I'll come back and, you know, put some notes in it to kind of enhance what I'm doing, and then, you know, I make the beats from there. But I do a lot of sampling. Matter of fact, on my album that I just released called Thug Standard, it's a record on there called The Hate Is So Real. That's actually a sample from Donnell Jones, What It's Gonna Be.
Okay. So I got a question. So everybody listening, so is your album is available on all streaming platforms?
Yes, it'll be on Apple Music within the next 2 weeks, but it's on Spotify, Deezer. It's pretty much on everything now. You know, it's on YouTube. You can go to YouTube and download it.
So if they type in CountryPimpin, it's gonna pop up. What's the name of the
and do it as one word. CountryPimpin as one word, not 2 words. CountryPimpin is one word. You can Google it right now. It'll pop up. You know what I'm saying? My YouTube and the Spotify will pop up. You know what I'm saying? My Instagram, all that stuff will pop up. Twitter, you know.
Because I like the music, so that's why I'm glad. That's kind of make it easier when you got. I hate to say it, bro. It make it easier when you got your stuff together. So when I just they'll platform, you like, yes, CountryPimpin, one word. You can find it wherever. Because what happens is, say you say the name of an album, they forget the album. Like, man, I know boy name was CountryPimpin, but they forgot the name of the album. But like you said, it's all one word, so they can find it. Hey, guys, anybody who's in the music or any kind of thing where you kind of platform, you just learn, listen, make your stuff easy to find. The harder to find, people will lose interest.
Yeah, because that's one thing I learned, you know, through trial and error, that, you know, the public has a short attention span. And if you can't make it easier for them, like, you know, you're gonna be kind of lost in the wind, man.
You're gonna be very lost. Okay, so I like the fact of that. So all right, so if you get out, you start making production. So what happened to where what instance happened or what story happened to you be like, you know what, man, I'm kind of good at this. Like I think this might be my lane.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've always been confident in myself, but it wasn't until McDonald's, he came to me. He was like, okay, you know, you pretty dope, bro. I fuck with you from Dickiana. He was like, you know, I want you to kind of help produce one of my first, you know, national releases. So I'm like, okay. I was honored, but, you know, just during that time, we was coming up with so many ideas on what, you know, what songs to put. And just because a lot of stuff that we worked on wasn't just beats that he came and picked. Like, those were beats that I started from scratch. You know, I just had an idea like, hey, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't until like maybe about my 4th track I had them made for him, and we kind of had a crowd of people over there, and you know I made the beat in no time. It's just, you know, everybody's reaction to it, you know, what kind of just made me feel like, okay, you know, this could be a good path for me.
Okay.
And it wasn't just in that day. It was the fact that for a while, every time everybody saw me, they was like, "You dope, like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying?" And it's to the point now to where even now, like, you know, I have people come in, they be surprised. They be like, "Oh shit, you made that," and they'll say stuff like, "Man, you know, somebody need to hear you." You know, I've heard it a lot, in the past 5 to 10 years. So, that kind of gives me confidence on what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
That you go where you need to go.
Yeah.
You're in the right path. Okay,
Yeah.
so all right, so we get to the music. So now I got a question. I'm gonna go back and forth. Okay, so
Okay.
you in the Berg. How'd you get from the Berg to Florence, or is another stop in between that?
Actually, that's easy. I'm married and shit. My wife, she was living in Florence at the
Hey,
time.
hey, bro,
I,
hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, my brother. Hey, cause guess
yeah,
what? Cause if you didn't mention it, you were gonna hear about it, and I ain't got nothing to do with me there.
yeah. No, I'm always keep it 100 with everybody. I give people myself. 'Cause again, I don't have nothing to hide. You know what I'm saying? I'm a normal man. People got flaws
Yeah.
and everything. But anyway, my wife, I was living in Orangeburg. I got a house on the hill. I don't know if you know it. You know about Orangeburg. I was living on Coleman, and
Shout out,
my wife, my wife.
shout out to the hill.
Yeah, shout out to the hill, man. Shout out to my boy Willie B too, man. That's my dog, man. Shout out to my dog Trav. You already know Trav. What's good with you, my boy? But yeah, like I was living on Coleman and shit, and my wife, she used to come and see me. And at the time, she was living in Florence. And
Okay. So,
basically,
how did y'all meet each other? Y'all knew each other previous to this, or
yeah, I was in a relationship previous to this, and we lived in Orangeburg, and I was working for intermediate marketing. I was doing telemarketing. And
everybody not work for IMM? Yeah,
yeah, okay,
everybody
man.
in the mom in
You
the
already
bird.
follow me, man. You already follow me. So I was out there at Isla Capri for a while, and I had ended up meeting her and another one of my homegirls. They ended up becoming like my sisters during that time because I was in a relationship. She was married, and her homegirl was married as well. We just kind of clicked. We vibed with each other. Long
Yeah,
story short, everybody kind of went separate ways, and a couple years later, she ended up getting divorced. I ended up splitting up with my old lady, and we kind of met up on some humbug. We kind of ran into each other in the Berg, and it wasn't still nothing on that. It was just kind of just like, hey man, stop you in the Berg. So I told her I had a house. Long story short, we went out to party at the pub that night. The next couple weekends, we would go and party. You know what I'm saying? And then we just kind of like it kind of just fell into place, bro. You know what I'm saying? After that.
another burglar story. You got to deal with the pub.
Yeah, man. Got a little twist to it, man. Yes, sir, man. I ain't gonna lie, it's crazy. I tell you that it's crazy how I met my best friend and my wife. Never knew, one of my best friends and my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. That's a good story. Hey, see, ladies, when you be down with a brother, hey, it's gonna come. Okay, so you meet your lady, so then you go to Florence. So I'm gonna ask you a question that I also asked Byron, Action PR.
Okay.
Do you feel as though do you feel as though Florence have a hip hop community that you can flourish with, that you able to work a lot? Or you because you producer, you find out your work you just live in Florence, but all your work and all your momentum is outside of Florence?
Yeah. Yeah, I still deal outside of Florence, but I ain't gonna lie, like this hip hop scene is it's way more than what I expected. And I get more artists, wanting to shop and deal with me more now than ever. I think it has a lot to do with me upgrading as well, because I didn't have as much as I do now in Orangeburg. That matters a lot too, because a lot of times, artists, it's just like going I say my business is like a barber. They'll go in the barber shop and look around, and if it don't look like a barber shop, a lot of people ain't gonna shop. You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
And it also goes off of word of mouth. Even if you can have the dopest barbershop, but if somebody ain't told that customer before they walk in, hey, you should go there because they cut the dope, a lot of times they ain't gonna shop. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
But yeah, I ain't gonna lie. When I got here, it was love when I first got here. Like I ran into a couple of guys. Like I'm repping TPT now. Like that's basically my family, man. Like they're a group of artists that was kind of putting themselves together when I came to Florence.
Okay.
And they kind of saw me from the ground up, kind of start what I'm doing now. And they, from the start, they was like, yo, you pretty dope. I was like, dang, like, they call me Big Uncle. You pretty dope, Big Uncle. Like, dang. And so I ended up producing a record for TPT Spotlight. He dropped a mixtape like 2 years ago. And I ended up producing his intro for that. And it kind of just took off after that. Like, you know, other people from TBT and other artists just started, you know, kind of just shopping with me. You know what I'm saying? Hold on 1 second, bro. Let me get a charger. I don't want my phone to die.
Okay. Hey, well, my man gonna get a charge. Everybody in here, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit that like and that share button, man. Hey, make sure you guys hit that like and that share button. If we in here doing something a little different, and here's you know what I'm talking about. We got everybody talking and see what we got going on. And hey, shout out to the bird. Shout out to the bird for always being in the mix of something. Who'd ever thought and little shout out to little Paulie, aka I call him the wig musician now. Party out here giving us bald head brothers um giving us back our hair with them wigs. Hey, ain't nobody gotta know, ladies. Y'all can get wigs, man. We can get our wig cat wigs too. Shout out to Paulie for the wig cat wigs for the men.
I know that shit, man. I know that shit right, man. Yeah, shout out to Paulie, man. That was a good dude, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, you know, when I first, you know, entered their school, I was homeless, you know what I'm saying? Because pretty much I didn't want to live with my mom at the time because, you know, she was married. And I'm, you know, my oldest son. Like, I was just embarrassed for her for me to have to come there and stay. You know what I'm saying? I chose being in the Samaritan house, you know? Like, they embraced me, dude, and they just, you know, they didn't judge me, and I think that was one of the most comforting things. Like Mr. Rob, like immediately was like an uncle or a dad.
Hold on a second. Hey, brother, you got a story. You got a story, brother. I'm not gonna let you just skip past that part. Hold on. So you saying you came to the bird? So forget pride. You got the hug. You got the just get from the ground. You stay in the Samaritan house for a little bit.
Yep.
Hey,
yep. I stay in the Samaritan house and walk to the barbershop every day.
You are the reason why I don't give nobody no excuses.
Yeah.
Study that right there. Bro, when somebody want it, you can't make nobody want it. You say, bro, I'm gonna just have to figure it out till I get here. Yep. I just didn't want that part of the story to just get slid past because, bro, that go to show don't matter where you at, just as long as you finish. But bro, you like, man, I gotta get it how I live. That small house, get together, walk to the barbershop. Bro, I don't want to hear nobody's excuses now.
Yeah. I mean, that's what people don't understand. They kind of, and I be telling my young boys, like, they kind of look at me and be like, damn, like, but y'all don't understand. Like, you know, I'm short with y'all about excuses, or you know, because a lot of times they'll be like, man, something I ain't gonna lie, be rude. Maybe my approach is, but you know, at the end of the day, they don't understand. They see 70 inch, or they see me and my wife comfortable. You know what I'm saying? They see the studio. They don't understand. It's hard for me to even accept. You know what I'm saying? It's, even with my son, like, you know, they're learning. I gotta admit, like, they're doing well, but I don't. It's hard for me to listen to you say, but Dad, I couldn't because. And it's not a physical limitation or something that's, you know what I'm saying, scientifically bound you to not be able to make this stuff happen. Because us as human beings, whatever we put our mind to, our sense of manifestation is so strong, man. It's ridiculous. You understand what I'm saying? You're gonna make that power and complain and cry about it, or you're gonna make that power move. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I live, bro. You know what I'm
saying? Facts. Okay, so we in Florence. You moving. You get a grind. How long you been in Florence now?
This is going on my third year, bro. Been here since 2018. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I got a question. So even with now it's hip hop, because right now, because you know how it is, all it takes is one good placement on a record, or the right person hears it on YouTube, or just anything, and you out of here. Because right now, because so many producers get found in the craziest way. Like, oh, I found this beat on YouTube, and like, who made that? So do you find it easier, because you grew up in that hard era? So do you find it easier now to where, like, I don't know, like, do you load all your tracks like on YouTube and like shop them, or you rather like you kind of like guard them a little bit more careful than that, and just like
I guard them a little bit more careful. I got a YouTube channel. I got beats up there. I put them up every now and then. You know what I'm saying? I got, you know, beats up there. I even got one of my first music video up there on my YouTube channel. But for the most part, I like to have more of a direct approach when it comes to me selling these beats. You know, I just I'm also on Beat Brokers as well. When you Google me, my Beat Brokers link could come up as well. So I'm on these sites, these placement sites because I understand I have to be, just in case somebody wants to find me. But I'd rather have a direct approach when it comes to actually, selling a beat. I try to get on these sites. So as you say, I have my shit together. My media package is complete. Somebody can say, well, who's CountryPimpin? And they can look at it. You understand what I'm saying? But for the most part, even my most successful moments have been through direct approach with selling beats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's me putting posts up saying, hey, this type of beat sale, or hey man, I'm goddamn giving $20 beats away. Shit like that is what actually, got people to, actually come fuck me. You know what I'm saying? And word of mouth, But I'll be on all these sites. I guess I haven't reached that point to where people, I don't have enough followers, I guess, to where people can say, hey, I see him on Beat Brokers or I see him on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? But I'm making noise just from a direct approach.
So I got a question. So I'm gonna tell you, them guys know I interviewed a couple of rappers, and even not you, my first producer. I'm real big on paperwork. So do you make sure that, because we always want the best, do you make sure all your beats have the correct paperwork, just in case it go?
Anything that I publish, I file on my ASCAP. I'm on ASCAP. I'm not on BMI. I'm on ASCAP. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Even with I had produced a record. Shout out to McDonald's too again. He actually got my first national accredited artist on a record. He did on that Still Cooking album. He has a remix record that features Cassidy, and that record I produced. You know what I'm saying? I'm also on the hook for that as well. I also wrote the hook as well. But yeah, I try to keep all my stuff filed, you know what I'm saying, with my ASCAP. You know what I'm saying? And also, I keep all, contractual emails that we speak on, I keep all of those, so that somebody can't basically back on their word, because I have to, the emails and files to pull up. But I try to stay on my toes about stuff like that, because again, whenever we got signed to that supposed deal with old boy from the radio, they had, our parents, we was young guys, they had our parents come invest. We scraped up almost $3,000 for a project that they said was going to get done that never got done. So, so I kind of learned the hard way, you know what I'm saying, that, you have to do it yourself. You have to make sure that yourself is covered, because nobody's going to really, you know what I'm saying, make sure you straight.
That's why I tell everybody, you got to look out for you, because their job, you have to get somebody that you pay, they're supposed to have your best interest at hand or in sight. Okay. Yeah. So I got a question. So since I'm gonna give a shout out, since he the one linked in with you, how did you meet up with HNPR?
I got an uncle, man. Shout out Uncle Smokey too, man. My dog Uncle Smokey, man. He's on Berry Street in Orangeburg. And my Uncle Smokey used to be like a bootleg and shit. So me and my dog Trout, we used to post up there, do what we do at the Berkeley Street. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he had moved next door, and basically his old lady used to come and chill with my Uncle Smokey. And well, not Uncle Smokey, but his wife basically. She come and chill with Aunt Deborah. And one day I was out there playing some music, and she had told me, she was like, yeah, my old man be home soon, like he rapping shit. And I was like, word, like, yeah, I fuck with him. So long story short, my homeboy Baby D, shout out my dog Baby D, can't forget about him. That's my dog, man. If you're from the bird, a lot of people ain't know who Baby D is, man, you know what I'm saying? But shout out my boy Baby D, man. Me and Baby D used to freestyle and shit, and he used to come over and we smoked lunch, and I let him, you know what I'm saying, like play beats for him that I was working on. And he, let me know what's dope, I need to change and shit like that. That's another reason why I love that dude, because he was always raw and real with me. People like him help make me better. But he pretty much told me one day, he's like, yeah, man, I got a homeboy around the corner, wood, man, you should meet him, man. You got some shit, he be rapping. So I was like, cool. So we was also shit like, he had to call him up. We was like, okay, we gonna match. So I was like, all right, you still have a little MP3 player I take with me. You know what I'm saying? Where I can play, beats off my phone, so people can hear me. So we pull up, finally just made it a session day. We was out there blowing, and by the end of it, bro was like, on some shit like, bro, like, damn, like, nigga, like you make this shit. I'm like, yeah. He's like, yo, niggas ain't fucking with you like that. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but hey, whatever, you know. So he was on shit like, man, look, if you ain't got no artists like that, I would love to be like one of your main artists. And I'm like, bro, like, you know, I don't never really like I ain't Pete or nobody, so I'd rather us just be a team or some shit. Like, you know, you need beats, just let me know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and it started with that. I produced his record, Big and Pop.
Yeah.
He got a video for that on what's called. I had produced that record. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. So after I produced that,
because man, because it ain't like he bet bro, he from the bird, he hard. Now I'm gonna tell him now. I'm gonna say, all right now, hey, he said, bro, he hard, man. I'm telling you, he hard. I'll listen to all that. Okay, like, buddy, hard, man.
man, listen, me and him, man, shout out to my boy Slim Biggie, man, NPR, man. Like on some real shit, like you know, we both share the same struggle pretty much. You know what I'm saying? I seen a lot of his you know what I'm saying, woes and shit he had to fight just to get to, you know what I'm saying, to get a level where he maintaining them. So I'm kind of happy to be able to work with him, you know what I'm saying, because I understand him, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, we got some dope shit, bro. Like maybe the last year or so we've been making some shit together. Maybe about 4 records we came up with now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like that. It's like the old Fabulous type, you know what I'm saying? It give you that vibe, the old Fab and that old, you know what I'm saying, MOP from, you know what I'm saying? Not to say that I got a dated sound, but you know, it's for today, but you know, I kind of dug in the bag a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Just from that era to try to recreate what he's trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like we got some dope thing coming, man.
I definitely believe that, man, because I love to hear these stories, man, from a brother to go from, you know what I'm saying, from shout out Baseburg, hey, I laugh when people see this. I tell people, for my platform to be as small as it is right now, I know it's gonna grow. But
Yeah.
everybody seem to be asking me questions about these interviews. I'm telling you, they be like, all right, Coach Pimp, bro, you know you from Pittsburgh now. You ain't said it now. You know, I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why I want to be real and like, you know, like, you know, my Baseburg family, like, boy, you from Baseburg. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
My Dixon family, like, nah, nigga, you Dixon. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I want to always let everybody know those are my roots, man. You know what I'm saying? That's my family. That's where I'm from.
Bro, and you got some long roots in the bird.
Yeah.
When you eventually met
my
your
son's
wife.
mother from out there, you know what I'm saying? She used to be a teacher at St. Matthews, you know what I'm saying? So we like, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to her. I'm gonna say her name. We gonna let that thing be.
Oh, no, I ain't gonna put on blast, like, you know what I'm saying? But shout out St. Matthews too, man. Shout out CC, man.
Shout out St. Matthews, bro. But man, I'm glad to hear this story, bro. Is there anything that you want to tell people? Make sure you tell them where to find out your content.
Yeah, I'm on again. Just Google Country Pimpin', one word. COUNTRY Pimpin', PIMPIN. Google Country Pimpin', just one word. Don't separate it. Just one word. Country Pimpin'. You Google Country Pimpin', all my stuff will pop up. You know what I'm saying? From my YouTube channel to my Spotify page, you know, to my SoundCloud, my Twitter, my Instagram, all that stuff will pop up. All you gotta do is just Google Country Pimpin'. You know what I'm saying? And it'll pop up. Same thing with when you go on YouTube. Just Country Pimpin', one word, and all my stuff will pop up.
Okay, man. Coach, I want to thank you, bro. Hey, bro, you kept it real. Let me tell you something, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. You kept it real, and you are the epitome of. Sometimes it's a long road, but you just gotta stick to it. Gotta stick to it, and you'll get to it. And I'm gonna tell you, bro. Country Pimpin' has proved to me, you brothers with them excuses, we don't want to hear it.
Yeah, man.
How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? But it's so crazy how everything works together. Everything works together. But I tell you what, on a side note, I'm glad to see that keyboard back there because you know, like I'm a musician, so I noticed when I see keyboards and stuff that I said, okay, I said, so I know he just saying. I actually just to ask you within the interview, I was like, so I know he just ain't pressing buttons on the keyboard. I take keyboard back there because I play the keys. But see, I'm still right now. I'm a church musician.
I got you. Yeah, man. This a big boy midi, man. I had to go. I had all these little midis, man. And they, I'm a big guy, man. Me trying to, so I was like, man, I gotta find one. So I found this for a steal, man. This is the Cop Professional 66 key. You know what I'm saying? So it's my MIDI control. It's basically my control for Fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like it gives me full control while I'm using Fruity.
Oh yeah. I know about that. Oh yeah, but I ain't gonna bore the people with that because we get to talk about keys and workstations and keyboards.
We'll be another hour. Yeah, man.
You know what that. But yeah, hey, brother, I want to thank you for tuning in. This is episode 62, Marvel Sports and Life with Country Pimpin. Hey, guys, this is just the beginning. This is a start for both of us. With Country Pimpin, he already about there. I'm just getting started. Doing my thing. But like I say, guys, you can look them up. If you can't remember the name of the album, type in Country Pimpin, one word, Google them, and you will find everything you need to find for them. Country Pimpin. One burger. As I said, look at this guy. Orange burger struck again. The burgers everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Burgers everywhere.
We everywhere, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man.
You.
Thank you too, man. Thanks for the opportunity, man. Much love, brother.
Ain't no problem, bro. Hey, we here to help each other out. We here to help each other. I'll chop it up. I'm gonna have fans that didn't know who you was because they're looking right now, so they're not typing Country Pimpin. Then when I put the clips and tag you in, they can be like, "Well, who was this guy doing the interview?"
Yeah.
So it all works together.
Facts, man.
All right, guys. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram can't share, but Facebook and YouTube mainly, hit that like, hit that share button. All right, we are. All right, Country Pimpin. Appreciate it, bro.
Thanks, man. Yes, sir.
Okay.